What's up, guys? It is time for 2 goals and 1 puck. Let's go. What's up, everyone? It is Tuesday, January 24th. We are here for 2 goals, 1 puck. What is up, Billy? You're in the middle of a tornado? Oh my God, man. I'm sorry. I hope you get through that. That sucks. Not a great way to start the show, but I hope everybody in Louisiana is doing okay, Billy. So, hey, man, let me know if you need anything. I can't really help here. Sure, prayers for you guys down there. Definitely, especially with that house you just put back together after the hurricane. So, yeah, guys, it is Tuesday, January 24th. It is our 6-pack parlay. Welcome in, friends of the channel. How it works here is we give you 6 plays today. We are taking all 6 are going to be overs. We are taking all 6 overs. But how we do this is, listen, I hate it how everybody out there in social media or all those professional sports bettors say that they actually think that it's a good idea to constantly to make parlays left and right. We don't agree, but we are going to have some fun. Each and every Tuesday, we put together a 6-pack parlay, and we tell you to put like a third of a unit, half a unit on it. But what I do recommend, though, is in all the plays that we do give out, bet them straight. Bet them as just one single bet, and hopefully we can make a profit that way. And then, hey, if all 6 hit, that is just added money to everybody else. John, we are live, man. We are live, John. We are live. And so that's how it works. I'm going to give you 6 plays. I'm going to show you at the end. I put it in for $10. It's going to pay out around $520, whatever it is. I'll show you at the end the bet ticket for that. But without further ado, let's get into our 6-pack parlay. This one is going to be a little bit shorter than normal. I might not go as long. Still under the weather as I cough on air. So bear with me, please. But we're going to start. We have 3 NBA plays. We have 2 NHL. And we have 1 college basketball. And like I said, they're all going to the over. We're going overs today on this Tuesday, January 24th. Again, in the chat, if you are thinking about making a bet today and you want our opinion on something, throw it in the chat. If you have any questions, throw it in the chat. We'll get to it. If I don't get to it right away, let me just finish my point that I'm making, and then I'll definitely get to it. But I can see everybody chatting with me. But let's go. 6-pack parlay for this Tuesday, January 24th. We are going to start in the NBA, and we're going to look at the West Conference with an LA Clippers versus an LA Lakers matchup tonight. Listen, the Lakers at the moment, they're the 12th seed in the West, but they have been playing a little bit better over the last couple of weeks. Big test tonight. They are going to face that crosstown rival, the LA Clippers. It is a home game, really, for the Lakers, but all that really matters is the court and what colors are on it. And we're going to start off our 6-pack parlay today with a big underdog tonight, and it's going to be with Norman Powell. Now, the Lakers, they are one of the best teams in the NBA defending the three-point arc. They only allow their opponents right now to make 34.7% from beyond the arc. Now, with that said, though, teams actually put up a ton of three-pointers against them, almost 36 per game go up against the Lakers from beyond the arc. Norman Powell on the season has been shooting the 3-ball very well. This guy, 42.2% rate, and he's shooting a total of about 4.6 threes per game. Now you ask, how do you get half a 3? Well, that's just really the average of all the threes he's taken over the season. However, recently, he's been putting up quite a bit of 3-pointers. In his last 9 games, he has shot at least 5 threes from beyond the arc and averaged 6 threes per game in that span. The hesitation with Powell and taking the prop bet here, he does come off the bench for the Lakers, and that is always, is he going to get enough minutes? He has lately been averaging about 27 minutes per game, so I do think he gets enough minutes here tonight. I know that the Lakers defend well from the outside of the arc, but they do, as I mentioned, give up a ton of threes. So Powell, who's had over 2.5 threes in 6 of his last 9 games, I think we are getting great money here. It's actually at plus 155. So with our first pick of our 6-pack parlay, we're going to take Norman Powell over 2.5 threes made. Again, that's at plus 155. And again, I recommend that you bet them all separate. I think that's the most profitable way to go about betting. And then again, let the parlay be a little token of hope. Al, man, I'm glad that you got that. I thought it was coming on Wednesday. Must have got there early. So I'm glad you like that. It's not much, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. So Norman Powell is our first pick of our 6-pack parlay. We got 2 other NBA player props to get into. The second one, we're going to look at my team, the Charlotte Hornets. And you may ask yourself, aren't you from Cleveland? Are you not a Cavs fan? No, I hate the Cavs ever since they took LeBron back. But that's a story for another day. We're going to look at the Hornets, my team, against the Phoenix Suns tonight. Now, the Hornets, they are one of the worst teams in the league. And honestly, the Cleveland Browns might make the playoffs before they do. So I'm going to stay far, far away from betting anything about the Charlotte Hornets. The one thing I do know about the Charlotte Hornets, though, is that their defense is just absolutely awful. They are 3rd worst in the league in defensive scoring. And honestly, if you watch them play, they make other teams look like they are the Hickory basketball team from the movie Hoosiers. The Hornets give up the most assists per game in the NBA at 26.6. And on the road, they're actually giving up even more, around 27.5 assists per game. Now, Mikal Bridges, he's averaging about 3.5 assists per game. And that is what his total is tonight for the game against the Hornets. But in the month of January, this guy is averaging 5.2 assists per game, and he has hit over 3.5 assists in 10 of his last 11 games. So I'm not really going to overthink this one. I am going to go against a team that gives up the most assists per game and take Mikal Bridges over 3.5 assists as our second play in that 6-pack parlay. Now, let's round out our NBA player props before we get to some hockey on the ice. And we're going to take a look at one that I'll be honest with you, it's kind of the one that I think we're going to have to sweat the most on this slate, the one that I'm maybe least confident about, and you're going to see in a minute why. But I still think it has an edge here or a chance to hit. We look at the Bulls and the Pacers matchup, who both halfway through the season are really vying for maybe play-in game spots at the moment. Chicago, they give up 114 points per game, which is right around mediocre in the league. But with that said, teams are shooting 47.5% from the field against them. Now, the Pacers at the moment, they have lost 7 in a row. And honestly, this team looks like they are going to be an easy fade for the rest of the season, just the way that they're playing. There is one guy, though, on the Pacers, though, that seems to enjoy playing the Chicago Bulls, and that is Buddy Hield. Since 2018, he has never been held to single digits scoring. And in 4 of his last 5 games against the Bulls, he has scored 20 or more points, including a 25-point performance earlier this season. So tonight, I like Buddy Hield to take charge on the offensive side of the ball for the Pacers and fly over his total points of 16.5. And that is our third play of our 6-pack parlay. So that is our 3 NBA player props. Just to recap for you NBA bettors out there, Norman Powell, over 2.5 threes. That one's actually at plus 155. Then you got Mikal Bridges, over 3.5 assists. And then you round out the rest of your NBA with Buddy Hield, over 16.5 points. So that's the NBA. What about what's going on in the NHL today? We got 2 good ones, 2 great games to look at. The first one, Sabres and the Blues. They come into this game both on the outskirts of the playoff picture at the moment. But the Sabres, they look to be a little bit better from having probably won 3 straight. I'll tell you right now, the Sabres are up and down as well. So are the St. Louis Blues. You just don't know what you're going to get between these 2 teams. The Sabres, they are very good, though, on the power play. Actually, they're 6th best in the league, which has them now 2nd overall in the NHL at 3.78 goals per game. However, like all Buffalo teams, it seems like, especially when you compare them to the Bills, it seems that their offense needs to outdo their defense. And that has been a problem for these Sabres. They give up 3.5 goals per game as well. Now, on the other side of the bench with the St. Louis Blues, they also struggle on defense. They're giving up over 3.5 goals as well per game. And Jordan Binnington has been less than stellar, giving up 3.26 goals per game with a save percentage of only .891. That is not good, and it is very far removed from that run to the Stanley Cup and winning the Stanley Cup just a few years ago. With the Buffalo Sabres giving up a ton of first-period goals, and both teams giving up a high number of shots on goal, we're going to take the Buffalo Sabres and the St. Louis Blues over 6.5 goals tonight for our fourth play of our six-pack parlay. Excuse me. So that is 4 down, only 2 to go. Again, if you have any questions or if you'd like any advice on anything tonight, please let me know in the chat, and I will get to that in a moment. I do have one NHL player prop left before we get into one college basketball play. And we're going to look at the NHL player prop of Nikita Kucherov here. Kucherov plays for the Lightning, and they, again, like the Sabres, like the Blues, have kind of had an up and down year, but now they do firmly sit in that third place in the Atlantic Division. Now, they've lost 2 games in a row. However, tonight they play a Minnesota Wild team that has also been struggling as of late. But earlier this month, Minnesota played the Tampa Bay Lightning in Minnesota, and they won 5-1 on a very poor effort by the Lightning. In that game, Gustafsson saved 34 of 35 shots on goal. But he won't be. The good news for the Lightning is tonight he's not going to be in goal. It's going to be Marc-Andre Fleury. To be honest, though, he's probably the better goaltender. Either way, I think the Lightning continue to put up a ton of shots on goal. They're averaging over 31 per game. And the one person who's been leading the way in that department is Nikita Kucherov. On the season, he's averaging 3.5 shots on goal per game, which is what his player prop is set at tonight. Now, the key for this player prop, in all honesty, is Kucherov needs to hit the 20 minutes on ice time. This guy, when he is on the ice, he shoots the puck. Since New Year's Eve, when he hits that mark of 20 minutes on the ice, he has gone over 3.5 shots on goal 80% of the time, and that includes a 5-shot on goal performance in that matchup against the Minnesota Wild earlier in January. So, with our fifth play of our 6-pack parlay, we are going to take Nikita Kucherov over 3.5 shots on goal. So that's 5 of our 6 plays there. We'll go over a recap here after we get done with our 6th play, and we'll show you the parlay bet slip that we made for this. But we do have one college basketball play tonight. I got to be honest with you. I didn't like the college basketball slate. This is the only one that I looked at that I thought was going to be anywhere near worth betting. It's the only play, actually, I think we have on our member card, and I'm going to give it out here as our last parlay bet. And I'm going to be quick about this one because, honestly, I still feel like crap, and I can't even breathe while I'm talking. So let's get to it. But I do want to look at the SEC matchup between the LSU Tigers and the Arkansas Razorbacks. The Tigers, they started the season, guys, 12-1. And have now lost 6 straight. And a lot of that, really, it can be contributed to Alabama, Auburn, and Tennessee in their last 3 games. But it also can be contributed to their lack of rebounding and defense. Now, they're not like the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They're not losing against just bad opponents and not putting together great efforts for their coach. They are putting together some decent efforts, and they have, like I said, played some hard teams. LSU opponents, though, their defense, not doing well. Their opponents are shooting 50% from the field this year, and most of those points actually come down low in the paint. They actually have a great perimeter defense, LSU. Arkansas, on the other hand, they have a great offense, and we expect them to be able to power their way, to rebound the ball well, get some second chance points over LSU, and they're going to put up, I think, at least 65, 70 plus on the Tigers tonight. However, Arkansas, they've been bad lately too. They've lost 5 of their last 7. And I would not be surprised if LSU really hangs around in this game. I think the final score of this game is going to be 72-67. But I got to tell you, I'm not going to pick a side. I don't know which one's going to come out in this one. Both teams, their form has not been good. But 72-67, I think that's what the final score is going to be. So with our last play of our six-pack parlay. We are going to take Arkansas, LSU over 138.5 points. And if you do the math, 72 and 67 would beat it by the hook. So that's going to do it here for us at Grandstand Bettors for our six-pack parlay. Again, don't rely on the parlay to win you the money. Go and bet those single, maybe a unit a piece, maybe half a unit a piece, and then just sprinkle a little fun with the parlay. Again, the parlay is for the entertainment factor. If you're going to be a long-term winning bettor, don't do parlays, only do straight bets. That's my advice, and that's what we continue to do to be profitable. Again, before we sign off, here's our six-pack parlay. Norman Powell, over 2.5 threes made. Mikal Bridges, over 3.5 assists. Buddy Hield, over 16.5 points. Nikita Kucherov, over 3.5 shots on goal. And LSU and Arkansas, over 138.5 points. Here's the bet slip, guys. If you look at it, six-pack parlay, it'll pay out plus 5,119, $10 on it to win $521.97. Now, I've made that. If you look at 2 p.m., some of those lines may have moved. If they have, I apologize. But go and bet it at your own discretion if they have moved. In all honesty, that's what we got, and that's what we're going to take. John, man, I hope it gets better. You like Missouri team total over 73.5? Awesome, man. Awesome. I might have to tail you on that one for sure. Sounds good, guys. Again, if you haven't subscribed to our Patreon, please do so. The link is always below in the description. We'd love to have you join our family. In fact, I know some people have been waiting on our poker league to start. I'm still working through some logistics with it. Bear with me. We'll get it done hopefully soon. I apologize for the delay. This also the last week when I've just been sick is kind of taking me out of commission as well. So, guys, this is a short one. I'm going to go lay down. I'm going to go relax. I'm going to go watch those bets, and hopefully, hey, let's go 6-0 tonight. Wouldn't that be great? But as always, I want you to sit back. I want you to relax. Enjoy the rest of your evening. We'll see you next time. 2 goals, 1 puck next Tuesday.